Hey, Bears fans, we got a big show on tap for you guys today, so stay tuned for that. But first, get subscribed to the channel. We are closing in on 23,000 subscribers. Do it for MJ, less than 400 away. I want to get there by March 1st. It's a shorter month, so we got, couple of days here? Got to get to 23K by March 1st. Got a big rumors video today. Hit that big red button and subscribe because we're going to keep on plugging out videos for you guys all off season long. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. Now stay tuned. Big show coming up right now. All right, Harrison Graham back as always. We got a 3-pack of rumors. How about bringing back Mitchell Trubisky? I'll go one smoking J here. It's not complete fake news. It could happen, but it's barely true. It's unlikely at this point for many reasons that we've discussed because both sides reportedly aren't that interested in a reunion here. Now, Chris Sims, who we got a lot to talk about with Chris Sims here, said on NBC Sports on Wednesday, I believe the Bears can win with Trubisky. I think they should bring him back. XYZ, will the city embrace him back? Blah, blah, blah. And then when I saw this quote, I was like, Chris Sims, I feel like he's talked about the Bears before. Oh, wait, he has. Last May, when he was going through his quarterback rankings for the upcoming season, he ranked Mitchell Trubisky as the 38th best quarterback in the NFL, a.k.a. 6 backups better than him. A year later, he says the Bears should bring him back. Chris Sims makes no sense. He does stuff like this all the time. It just flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop. Bring back Trubisky 8 months ago. He's the 38th best quarterback in the NFL, and he's not very good. It just makes no sense. And we actually talked about it on a video 8 months ago, which was a very popular one, by the way. Over 40,000 of you guys watched it and agreed with me. Here's what Chris Sims had to say last May. As far as accuracy is concerned, it can be all over the place sometimes. I mean, way too many slam dunk incomplete or NFL completions missed by Mitchell Trubisky, let alone decision-making questionable at times and feel within the pocket. That was him last May. And then he watched Trubisky play this year and get benched for half of the season, essentially, and then play okay as a starter, right? Up and down, was good against bad teams, not so good against good teams. And then all of a sudden, after this half season of playing okay football, he's come to this conclusion just a day ago. Is the city going to accept him back? Do they still want to see that? Mitch isn't the worst thing in the world. I think the Bears can win with Trubisky. What changed for Chris Sims? Last May, he stunk, wasn't even a top 32 quarterback for Sims. Now, after being benched for half the season, the Bears should bring him back? This makes no sense from Chris Sims. Now, if you're one of those people who believed in Mitch a year ago and still believe in him, that's fine. But for Sims to go back on this after Trubisky was benched for half the season, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. There was not nearly good enough play this year compared to what we saw last year to just say, yep, Trubisky's the guy now, bring him back, you can win with him. How can your take be 8 months ago that he's a backup and not very good, and now that you can win with the guy? Like I just don't get that from Chris Sims. I'm not saying that anyone who believes in Trubisky is wrong, but from point A to point B on this timeline for Chris Sims, it doesn't add up. And just to kind of circle back to the thought of bringing him back in general, guys, it's time to move on. I think this is like plan F. If your top 5, 6, 7 options fall through, then it's like, hey, Mitch, you want to come back? And still at that point, I don't think it's very likely. Will Mitchell Trubisky be back next season? Type Y for yes, type N for no. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with the ad break, scroll on down and answer this question. All right, more quarterbacks. Oh, boy. Trade for Russell Wilson. One smoking J on this one. Can't call it fake news because the rumors are buzzing around one Russell Wilson because The Athletic did a huge write-up on the growing rifts between Wilson and the Seahawks and even reported that Wilson has approached Seattle about possible trade destinations. Now, I have not seen anything that he has officially requested or demanded a trade. I don't think it's to that level, but he seems pretty unhappy with Seattle's direction. There was a snippet in the article that said he stormed out of a meeting with his coaches last year before a game against the Arizona Cardinals when he suggested some offensive philosophy shifts for an upcoming game. They dismissed him, and they dismissed that idea, and he stormed out of a meeting. So he's not happy with what they're doing up in Seattle. Again, doesn't mean he's demanded a trade, but you can't rule it out. And you know what? The quarterback carousel continues to get wild, and I am here for all of it. I cannot wait to see what unfolds for quarterbacks this offseason, obviously with the Chicago Bears as well. Now, in this article, the Bears were not mentioned as a possible destination for Wilson. These were the 4 teams listed, but it did say the 4 teams include the Raiders, Dolphins, Saints, and Jets. That doesn't mean the Bears couldn't get involved. Do I think they could? I think they will? Probably not, but you can't rule it out. And how about this? Let's say he does go to the Jets or the Dolphins. Well, if he goes to the Jets, that frees up Sam Darnold. If he goes to the Jets or Dolphins, they've both been linked to Deshaun Watson. That's one less team in the Watson race. This is a good thing for the Bears, even if they don't land him, because that's another quarterback on the market. The domino effect means maybe they can get somebody else, even if it's not Russell Wilson. So predict it for me. Where will Russell Wilson play next season? Type S for the Seahawks, type O for other. I still think it'll be Seattle, but at this point, all bets are off. I think he's very, very unhappy, and Seattle's going to have to figure this situation out very, very soon. Something that's more certain is the deals on this St. Patty's Day gear for the Chicago Bears. You can get St. Patty's Day themed shirts. You got long sleeves, all kinds of stuff at chatsports.com/Bears. Green. I like this offset long sleeve. I love this black one here. I think it's the best of the lot there. Chatsports.com/Bears Green. 25% off all of this St. Patty's Bears themed gear. You can get this custom shirt in or whatever name, whatever number you want on the back. And yes, she got some gear for the ladies as well. A couple of different t-shirts. I got a woman's hoodie as well. So for you ladies watching, or if you want to get your wife or daughter or mom or whatever a shirt, you can do that also. Chatsports.com/Bears Green. Look at these socks. We got it all for 25% off. St. Patty's Day just around the corner. Go ahead and load up on your Bears St. Patty's Day gear right now. Now, to get back to Russ and just the quarterback situation in general, I'm so here for the quarterback drama. This is great. This is fun. This is why I like doing this show. And it's great for the Bears because they're in the thick of all the quarterback drama. Like, this is what we live for as sports and NFL fans. Quarterback carousels, we don't see them happen like they could this year, which they already have with Matt Stafford and Carson Wentz. Maybe Russell Wilson is the next big name that gets dealt. Obviously, I would love him in Chicago. I think he's further down the list than some of these other teams just based on what they can offer. But you know what? It's an extra name out there. The domino effect, like I said, maybe Wilson ends up in Miami, which means who knows? Tua could be available. Maybe Deshaun Watson becomes more likely to the Bears at that point. Who knows what could happen? All I know is I can't wait to see it unfold, and we will be breaking it down here on this channel. All right, here's my trade idea, just hypothetical. I think it would cost something along these lines. Russell Wilson and a fourth to the Bears. Like to get a fourth back because you don't have one this year. 3 first-round picks, including your first this year, obviously, your second this year, and then Nick Foles to send Seattle back a quarterback. That way they can at least have a backup type there if they choose to go in this direction. Going to cost a lot, but I think it would be something in that range. Now, we've talked about Wilson. We've obviously spent a lot of time talking about Watson on this channel. Pick a quarterback. Who would you rather have? Type RW for Russell Wilson. Type DW for Deshaun Watson. I think this is obvious. I'm typing DW. He's younger. I think you could argue he's actually just as talented, if not more talented, than Russell Wilson. Get your votes in, RW or DW. All right, Mel Kiper released his latest mock draft. How about drafting Kadarius Toney at number 20 overall? Two smoking Jays. People are talking. Mel Kiper has Chicago selecting the Florida wide receiver in round 1 in his latest mock draft. He had a lot of wild selections in this thing, including 5 quarterbacks in the top 10, because a lot of you guys are probably like, Kadarius Toney, what about quarterback? Well, he had all 5 of the top 5 guys going in the top 10, which means the Bears weren't even close to getting one. He did a bunch of trades in this mock. It was fun. It was entertaining. Ultimately, Toney ends up with the Bears. I actually don't hate this pick because Toney's an exciting receiver. He would be another fun weapon on this offense. He was great this past season for the Florida Gators, almost 1,000 yards in just 11 games, 10 touchdowns, average over 14 yards a catch. And what he offers as well, which was a big problem last year, was elite punt returner, which with Tariq Cohen getting hurt. After that, they didn't really find one. You can take pressure off Cohen. Tony could be your punt returner, and you're good to go on that front as well. I mentioned the quarterbacks went early, which meant the Bears couldn't get one. Trevor Lawrence went to Jacksonville. He had the Falcons trading up with the Jets to get Zach Wilson. Justin Fields on a trade up by the Niners at number 7. This was when it got interesting, though. Mac Jones, number 8 to the Panthers, and then Trey Lance, Patriots trade up to number 9 to draft him at number 9. But 5 quarterbacks in the top 10, which means, you know what? If that happens, Bears may not get a quarterback in this year's draft, at least in the first round. Grade the pick of Kadarius Toney, A, B, C, D, or F. When that many quarterbacks go early, I know, you would think offensive line maybe as well. I'll go B-. You want to get a tackle if you can here, but it's not the worst pick, especially if you lose Allen Robinson. Receiver in round 1 becomes very plausible at that point. I'll give it a B-. It's not the worst pick. I think he'll be an electric player in the NFL. You could do a whole lot worse than Kadarius Toney. Now, speaking of offensive line, because a lot of you guys, what about tackle? Well, a lot of those guys went early too. Penei Sewell to the Bengals, Rashawn Slater to the Chargers there, Elijah Vera Tucker, the guard/tackle out of USC, went number 14 overall. Darrisaw at 19. I think if he was there at 20, Kiper would have gone in that direction, but he did not. He went number 19 to the Washington football team. And then 3 more guys went after the Bears pick. I just wanted to mention them. The Alabama center, Landon Dickerson. Tevin Jenkins, who Kiper mocked to the Bears last time around. He goes number 30 to Buffalo this time. And then Walker Little, one of the big surprises, number 31 to the Kansas City Chiefs. That didn't even include guys like Samuel Cosme. And then, the kid from Liam Eichenberg, the Alabama tackle as well. Other guys didn't even go in round 1. But he went with Kadarius Toney. Would I prefer a tackle? Probably. But Kadarius Toney is an electric football player. And I'm getting visions in my head of A-Rob on one side, Darnell Mooney on the other side, Toney in the slot. That's an electric trio of wide receivers if you can get the right quarterback. That is the key with everything for the Bears this offseason. You get the right quarterback, you add one tackle maybe in the draft or in free agency, you're good to go, honestly. You add Toney to the mix as well, that would be a whole lot of fun. Now, Toney's not my dream pick, but I do like it. Who's your dream pick at number 20 overall? Let's hear it from you guys. Probably Mac Jones for me, but I don't think he's fallen to 20 at this point. Let me know what you guys think. And guess what? We'll be back very, very soon with a lot more news and rumors. We'll see you then.